Hey guys, it's mblohr here, and welcome back to another episode of the Magiclicas Writers Room. Bah! Today we got a lot of stuff to do, so first we're going to read some comments from episode 12 of the Magiclicas. Then, we're going to read some comments from episode 13 of the Magiclicas. Then, we're going to read some comments from my last episode of Writers Room. Then, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera like a lot. We're gonna hear a special word from a special guest, and that's gonna about do it. First comment I decided to pick out from episode 12 is, Jakey, what happened to the last one? The trial of Melissa. Where is it? What's going on? All I have to say for you is, April Fools. Next comment here on episode 12 of the Magiclicas. Wow, I think the ships are turning, and it's turning to more like Michael x Kylie, Ivy x Chase, and Melissa x that emo guy from the Eversingers. So, Connor is what you're saying. And this is odd to me, because the only ship I see in here that's like really showing is Ivy and Chase. Everything else seems very random, so I'm not sure what show you're watching, but it's not this one. Seriously, believe it or not, I kind of already shipped Michael and Melissa when he played the piano for her when she sung her first song for the Eversingers. Then, there's that gazing into each other's eyes as they sing, like, my heart was beating so fast, and then the confession deal, it killed me. And my last words were, thank you, cute Jakey. Okay, maybe not literally. Anyway, I really love this series. It's amazing. This is the first comment I've seen of someone kind of describing their support of the Magiclicas ship and kind of why, you know, their kind of reaction to it and their experience. No one else has really done that. I've seen maybe like a, oh my god, I ship Michael and Melissa, but there was no reaction, there was no like insight as to why you ship them, you know, and that's what I like about this comment. So thank you for giving us that information and kind of giving us that perspective. So awesome. So last comment from episode 12 that I decided to pick out is a very, very long one. So sit down, you know, grab a snack, grab some popcorn. You're gonna be here for a little while. I especially want to shout out this specific person, Camden's Community. They also have another comment later on that is also very cool. So, definitely some really cool commenter right here. Hey Jakey and company, I just found your channel and the Magiclicas series yesterday, and I wanted to write a little appreciation comment. I finally caught up with the series, and I absolutely love what you all are doing. This is no doubt in my mind the all-time greatest Minecraft roleplay out there. Oh, where do I begin? First of all, the writing is phenomenal. The plot is deep and attention-grabbing. The character development is so interesting. When I started watching, I was like, boy, there are a lot of characters to digest here. However, now I feel like I know and appreciate each of them in their own way. Even minor characters such as the Eversingers and the Minor Sparrows. It's actually spelled S-P-E-R-O-S, but I get you. I understand what you mean. I also love how your team was able to take an overused roleplay concept, A School for Magic, and turn it into a unique story. It seems professionally written, and that appeals to me considering I'm an aspiring writer myself. Great, roll with that. Yeah, please pursue that. Because I think if you can, you know, if you can point out that it might be difficult to digest all of these different characters, but we're somehow able to, you know, get small peeks into each of their lives and, you know something substantial about each and every one of them, then yeah, I mean, it sounds like you know what needs to be done in some kind of plot, or you know how the writing process needs to go in order to accomplish that. So definitely pursue that. I also love the cast. Every voice actor manages to pull off an incredible performance for their characters. It almost feels like you are the characters and are experiencing all of this firsthand. Cookie Turtle is personally my favorite actress because I feel like I get the most emotion out of her performance. This is not to say everyone else doesn't pull off their characters just as well. So if you don't know, Cookie Turtle is the voice actress for Melissa. Thank you so much. That really means a lot because this is kind of the first big roleplay that I've ever voice acted for. Honestly, probably the first roleplay that I've ever voice acted for, so that really means a lot. Thank you so much. You also incorporate something in your roleplay that isn't very common in others on YouTube, and that thing is your music. Usually musicals bore me half to death, but in this case, I'm grateful you've included it. There are some beautiful musicians in your bunch, and I love it. Again, your content is much more different than most stuff I find online, and it's this originality that draws me into the videos. Absolutely agree with you there. I think we have a bunch of talented people in the Magiclicas, you know, who can definitely hit some notes, you know. They got some pipes on them. Yeah. Thank you so much. Honestly, every single person on your team should be professionals, from the singing to the acting, and especially to the writing. Big literature nerd here. You've shown a perfect example of the capabilities of Minecraft, a game most assumed to be childish. So thank you. Keep up the awesome work, and know that I'll continue to support your efforts to entertain along with the rest of your invested fans. Dang. What a comment, honestly. So good. Thank you so much. This all is just positive feedback, which is great. I just wish that there might have been, like, you know, some negative feedback, because in order to improve, you gotta have some negative feedback. That doesn't make me appreciate this comment any less. It's fantastic. It's well written. Carefully thought out, and that is what we love to see here. Thank you so much for your comment, and all of us here on the Magiclicas team appreciate you. Now on to episode 13. Random comment warning. Why are you abusing dem cliffhangers? I need to know what will happen. Also, why is there so many ships? I don't know who to ship anymore for the same reason I ship Melissa with everyone. Also, I'm most likely that one person who just watches from the sidelines waiting for the perfect photo for her fanfics. The fanfics. There is a lot going on here. I don't really know how to approach this, but I would say yes. I agree with everything. I feel like everyone ships Melissa with everyone. It just kind of happens. New character. Let's ship Melissa with that new character. That's all I have to say on this comment. But Mel is in heart with Michael Simpson, not Quinston. Arrgh! I'm seeing that you still have a little issue with the whole Michael Melissa thing. But, like, Quinston's off the table, so, like, how's it gonna work? It's not gonna work. It doesn't add up, you know? Ranting time! Oh my god, what happened with Chase and his brother that made him so mean to him? He probably triggered the stuttering, and now he mocks him for it. Oh my god, he's so cruel towards his brother, though. I wonder what happened to make him like this. That is very interesting. I like that. Definitely an interesting theory, you know. His brother does rag on him, and he hasn't seen him in a while. So that kind of gives you, like, the impression that, like, maybe he was the cause of this whole stuttering thing. That's one theory. Definitely a possibility. I actually can't tell you for sure if that is the case. But I like this. I like this theory a lot. I think it would be very cool. And, you know, maybe you should write something. So that was the last comment from episode 13. So now we're going to move on to the writer's room comments. So let's check them out. What is it like to be working alongside with Jakey in terms of script writing from Jakey himself? Crazy. So I'd say it's pretty cool. Jakey's got some top-notch ideas, and I think it's really cool to see all of his ideas for the series unravel. I think it's great that he really knows what he wants for this series, even down to the smallest details in these episodes. And that is just great, and he knows this whole world. He's got this whole world just in his mind, and he can pretty much pick out anything he needs, any kind of information that he needs for specific episodes, which is really awesome. And I respect him so much for it, and I'm glad to see that it's actually paying off and people are actually coming to his channel and you know, like subscribing and viewing and all this stuff, and it's really cool to see his hard work paying off. I think something that I might say negative here is that there are a lot of grammar mistakes. It just gives me, the executive story editor, a little bit more work to do. But you know, still a great guy, still great ideas, and I love working alongside the dude. So anyway, next comment. Could you go through in detail the process Jakey's roleplay team goes through to produce each Magiclicas episode? Magiclicas episode, I guess. Who does their jobs first, who works together, and who has more say in the overall production than others? Also, how did the writing team become so good? I find the plot and dialogue in the series super duper intriguing and attention grabbing, as if it were made by professional authors or screenwriters. What kind of experience do you have in writing to make you so good, and what advice do you have for aspiring writers as well? So let's start with that first question. So, essentially what happens is Jakey will have an idea for the episode. He will kind of get writers together for that episode that he might want. So let's say that I've been saying that, oh, I need to write another episode because I haven't done it in a while or something like that. And you'll say, all right, you get in here, get in this call, and we'll discuss it. I'll show you all my ideas for this. And then we can kind of write on it over the next week or so. I think it usually takes probably less than a week, probably a few days. Essentially, it starts out with the writers just going at it, filling in spots, filling in details, discussing with each other, you know, making sure that everything kind of synchronizes. And then the next step is kind of titling it. You know, what's the common theme among the whole episode, you know, between different scenes and different situations, different things happening to different people. And then we send it off to me. So essentially, if I have written the episode, I basically just, once Jakey or whoever is done with it and I have finished my part, I then go through and edit the whole thing. But if I haven't written, I just get sent the script. I basically just go through, check for grammar, spelling mistakes, all that kind of stuff, all the kind of stuff that you learned in English class. Not that hard, really. You know, you just gotta like sound out everything, make sure it sounds good. And, you know, like restructure sentences if they sound very weird. I forgot to mention that before it gets sent to me, Walker Newton will actually logic check it to make sure that it makes sense with the universe that we've created, and just making sure that everything actually makes sense to the world of the Magiclicas. And then it gets sent to me where I do all the corrections. And then it gets sent off to the voice actors, and they're told, this is the due date, please send in lines by this date. And the way that they send in lines is there's a folder on Google Drive, and they just like record the lines and then upload them. Normally we have people say their lines 3 times, but you know, they don't have to if they don't want to, and if they're, you know, really good at hitting those lines and getting that emotion. While that's happening, while those lines are being recorded, Jakey sits down with all the body actors and stuff, and they just film those scenes while he kind of sounds out the lines to them, gets different angles and all that stuff, and then everything is just put together by Jakey himself, all of the effects, all of the music, all of the sound effects, just syncing the lines to the body acting. That is all him. How did the writing team become so good? We didn't. It's kind of just, you know, just a bunch of people who've probably written things before. I myself have worked on novels of my own, worked on children's books. I have actually tried working on my own roleplay, which is I'm about to finish up, but I'm still taking my time. So we've definitely had writing experience, and the other people that Jakey brought on probably had writing experience as well. But you know, it doesn't take like a huge professional writer to have a good story. If a bunch of people, you know, sit down together and kind of work things out and make sure that everything is clarified, and make sure that the idea that they have for the episode is solid and concrete, bam, you got a good plot going, you got good character development, and a lot of the good writing, I would say, is contributed to Jakey, because he has a lot of the ideas, he has a lot of the the character backstories and the plot stuff, like the he's got everything thought out. It's just up to us as the writers to kind of fill in the blanks, fill in the details, maybe throw in some jokes, some banter, all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool to see it all come together and just see what we've worked on so hard be so inspiring and impactful to people. So people like you guys. Really cool comment. Thank you so much. Are you a wizard, Harry? How did you meet Jakey? Funny story. So, Jakey and I were teammates on the UHC. So we, it was random. We were randomly selected to be on the same team, and afterwards, we decided to film like a video or two, and he brought up the thought of joining the Magiclicas, and he said that he had an idea for a specific character that he wanted me to play. And it kind of just, snowballed from that. I decided that, I would voice act, and then I just got really interested in what was going on. I asked if I could be a writer. He said that I could, and also be the executive story editor. So, it kind of just happened. It's really crazy how that works, because if I hadn't been placed on the same team as Jakey, I probably wouldn't have as much involvement with the Magiclicas as I do now. So, pretty cool stuff. Coincidences. Crazy. This episode was great. I can't wait for the next one. I do have a question. I'm getting into writing and filming my own roleplays and want to know how you write characters, how much detail do you add? Most websites for character making either add a ton of details or barely any. I want to know, as I tend to make them either too cliche or make them seem like Mary Sue's. Thanks. So, you kind of have to put yourself in those characters' shoes, right? So if you were in their situation, with their backstory, with their history, with all of the people around them, influencing them, how would you react? That's how you don't make them too cliche, but they're not boring either. They are real. They're human. That's how you make them real, is you put yourself in their shoes. That's what I would say, in my opinion. I bet tons of other writers would put it differently, but that's just kind of how I see it. So thank you for your question. Now, these next couple comments, as well as Twitter questions, will be handed over to my special guest. So here he is.
Hello, viewers of the Magiclicas Writers Room. I am Jakey, also known as QJakey, and I am the creator of the Magiclicas. And today I am going to answer a few questions that I got about the Magiclicas. So here we go. I love questions. So the first question is, at what age do the Magiclicas' power manifest? Actually, I think they start to have their power, like learn how to control it when they're around, the age of 3 to 5. That's when the age when they start to learn if you're born as a Magiclicas. But in the story, like Melissa, she was like born and raised as Cypher, so she didn't receive the training and things, so her power kind of like went dormant. So that's why she woke up her powers at a much later age. But normally they the power manifests at a very, I mean, it was there actually, like when they're a baby, they were born with that. But like, I think from 3 to 5, I think that's the age when they like trying to figure things out and like learn that they have power and everything. So another question is, what or who inspired you to make the Magiclicas? A lot of people ask me this question. I would say it's more like what inspired me instead of who. I don't think there's like who inspired me. It's actually a lot of things inspired me to do Magiclicas, but mostly it's just like a lot of TV shows that I watch. If I were to really name a TV show, I definitely take a lot of inspiration from shows like Riverdale and also like Shadowhunters, because that's like some of the shows that I really watched when I created it. So I definitely, take some reference from that, and sometimes, I make references. Like I always make, like if you notice, I make like Riverdale references in the when I write the script. So it's TV show because I really like TV show, and if you have been watching me for a while, I like taking things really seriously and turn them into really like actual TV shows. I give reviews, I give promos. Like I actually went and look at how the TV shows that I watch, like how do they promote stuff, like how do they title their TV promo video. Like I actually do that, and how do they do the end credits and everything. Like because back, like I always feel like if I didn't make it on YouTube, if I didn't do really well, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try my best to find a job in a TV show production field. Become a TV producer. So I guess it's just like the fact that I really love TV show, I admire them, good TV shows. I mean, actually not sometimes I watch trashy TV, but but just, TV shows in general, it's something that inspired me. The quality of it and the seriousness that you have to put into it if you want to make a TV shows. I guess just TV shows, inspired me to make the Magiclicas, I guess. So, why did you decide on the current pronunciation of the Magiclicas? A lot of people also ask me that, because like they are very confused, like how do I pronounce this word? Like I see a lot of comments all the time, like I seriously don't get the pronunciation of the show. Like shouldn't it be pronounced as if it's pronounced as Magiclicas, shouldn't you spell in that way, or shouldn't it be pronounced as Magiclicas? Back when I see the word, like when someone suggested this word, Magiclicas, Magiclicas, like I look at it. Of course, if you just you pronounce it as you can just read it out loud and say like Magiclicas, but it sounds awful. And then when I look at this word, it made me think of like a name like Angelica. So I was like, because it looks like that word, like kind of looks like it, even though it doesn't spell entirely like that. So I was like, you know what? Like Magiclicas sounds so much better. And you know what? Like that word, that doesn't have to be English. In fact, a lot of words that we use in the Magiclicas are not English. And since it's not in English, I'm just gonna say it's a very sacred Asian language, and I just decided that Magiclicas sounds the best. Okay, so final question. How often do you run out of ideas, and what do you do? I don't know if this will sound like really like overly confident or anything, but I don't think I've, like when it comes to Magiclicas, I don't think I've ever got to the point where I ran out of ideas. For me, my mind is just full of ideas. Like every time when I'm not like talking or anything, I am like constantly thinking about stories and everything. Like thinking about like maybe even like season 3 of Magiclicas, like what should happen. Like actually, honestly, I already know what's gonna happen in season 3. I mean, of course, when I actually write it, there might be some difference, but the big picture, I always have it. I think more the thing that happens more is like I have that idea, like I have all the ideas. It's more like how do I link everything and make this whole episode have like a theme. When I'm writing episode 12, like how can I make everything somehow related back to the theme home? like in episode 13, how can I have this story and this story? How can I like modify like the dialogues and everything to make everything more about like lying and not telling the truth and everything? So it's more like that. It's like me figure out like the transition and how to refine the dialogue to make it, you know, better. I think that's more like the issue that I face when I write the story. And if I ever do that, I would just, you know, take a break, lie on my bed and just, you know, you know, watch TV shows, because as I've said, TV show it's a really big inspiration for me. And just, you know, by looking at those, you know, dialogues and just, you know, people talking, I can like take things from that and just, you know, write dialogues, you know, write the scripts, you know. Sometimes, so yeah, I just, you know, take a break and just, you know, just do thinking instead of just like sitting there and writing. So yeah, so break really helps. Sitting down, watching TV, or maybe just, you know, drink some green tea or just any other tea, you know, that really helps. So yeah, I guess that's the issue and how I deal with it. But I don't really have the issue of like, oh, I can't think of anything, like run out of ideas. I don't know. I guess Magiclicas is so important to me, so it's just, you know, it's my baby. So yeah, I'm just making this really awkward. I hope you guys all learn more about the Magiclicas and hope you are satisfied with the answer. It's yeah, I'm gonna, you know, keep working hard and getting better and in terms of Magiclicas. And yikes, I don't know how to end it, but yeah, back to you, Stu.
So that is what Jakey had to say about all of your questions and your comments. So thank you guys for leaving those. And he might make an appearance later, or we might have another special guest next episode. Who really knows? But thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Magiclicas Writers Room. Leave a comment down below if you want to see it in the next episode, and also tweet at me, #Magiclicas Writers Room, if you want me to answer more of your questions and feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Leave a comment with your feedback. Subscribe for more if you'd like to see here. Be sure to click that bell if you want notifications when I post a video. Have an awesome day. I'll see you guys later.